How's it going, everyone? I'm getting ready to leave for Vancouver for the Riftbound Regional Qualifier. The only problem is, I'm kind of broke. Which leads to the question, if you're broke, why are you wasting money attending a card game tournament? And well, I was really on the fence about whether I would attend or not when I was able to get a ticket. But in the end, it was because of my lovely fiance who decided to encourage me to go that I decided I'll give it a shot. That said, traveling on a budget is always a challenge, so if you're curious about how much it costs to attend a regional qualifier, stick around for a bit. Starting with the big purchase, the plane ticket, it costs $524.59 for a round trip from Montreal to Vancouver. I went with the ultra low-cost carrier Flair and decided that it's just a few days, so I can just take my backpack as a personal item and it'll be totally fine. I flew with them back in 2022 and everything was fine, so I didn't think there would be an issue. However, when I told my friend about it, he was a little bit worried, and so I did some looking up online, and in the last few years, Flair hasn't had a great reputation when it comes to sizing personal items or carry-ons. I'm hoping that if I take the same bag that I took in 2022, they would recognize it as a personal item and I'll be totally fine. So this here is my backpack. It's the backpack I use every day, and it's also the one I've used to travel. It's actually designed for going through the airport, so I've never had an issue, but the problem is technically the height dimension is like 2 centimeters above the guidelines for a personal item based on Flair's policy. If they're really as strict as they're saying in some of the Reddit posts that I've read, then I might be a little bit screwed. So hopefully I can get away with just not overpacking my bag and things will be okay. If not, I might have to pay like $100 more for a carry-on. It's the morning of my flight, and my flight leaves in about 3 hours. I have everything packed. I pretty much just need to eat and then head out and catch the bus so I can get to the airport on time. Hopefully everything goes well, and I'll see you guys in Vancouver. Bye! I'm currently on the REM, and this is my cost breakdown so far. $524.59 for the plane ticket, $14.89 for new sleeves, $13.75 for the bus ticket to the airport, and $100 for the regional event ticket. That brings up my total to $653.23. After a nearly 6-hour flight, I've landed in Vancouver, and I immediately took the SkyTrain to the convention center. At the convention center, there was a short line for the badge pickup, but it went pretty fast. So I made it to the Vancouver Convention Center. I went and I picked up my badge and I signed up for a draft at 3 p.m., which is in about an hour and a half. So I have some time to kill. So I think I'm gonna go find something to eat around the area. But so far it's kind of overwhelming. There's a lot of people and I don't really know anybody, but I'll try and have fun as much as I can. I finished my draft and I'm on my way to my friend's place. For today, I spent $16.95 on the day pass for the SkyTrain, $10.78 for a wrap from a food truck called Mr. Shawarma, and $35 for the draft. So my total is $62.73.
Okay, so it's the morning of the tournament. There's about 2 hours before the main event starts, so I'm getting ready to head out. I didn't really record last night after my draft. I got something to eat, did my draft. It took like 5 hours. and I ended up going 2-1. I got 3 prize tickets. There wasn't really much to do after that, unless I wanted to do on-demand events because I missed a sign up for the Super Nexus night. So I just decided to go back and meet up with my friend. And with that, this is probably the biggest cost-saving tip I can say is have generous friends. The biggest money saver for me this trip is definitely asking my friend who lives in Vancouver if I could stay at his place. And he generously accepted, and he actually went above and beyond. He prepared a bunch of toiletries for me, and he even bought me dinner and bought me snacks for the tournament today. So like really, thank you so much to my friend, and just extremely generous and way beyond what I was expecting.
So I just finished my first round. I played against an Ivern and I was so nervous. Oh my God, I accidentally knocked over my deck while trying to draw a card. I didn't realize it and drew a different card instead, and I had my first judge call 10 minutes into the tournament. But in the end, I was able to go 2-0 using Yasuo and just abusing Heart of Dark Ice. Well, I'll check in after the next round. So I just finished my third round and it was against Aurelia. Unfortunately, I lost. But the funny thing is, it was against someone I know from Montreal. There's 2,000 people in this tournament and I match up against someone that I've played against locally, which is pretty funny. In the end, at least one of us is 2-0, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, I'll check back in a bit. I'm here with another mid-round update. I finished my third round. I went up against a Aurora Poppy, and I managed to go 2-0. They had a really slow start both games, so I kind of just ran over them with Yasuo and stayed really aggressive with the Legend ability, so it wasn't too bad. Anyways, I'll check back in for after the fourth round. All right, so I finally finished my fourth round, and unfortunately, I lost against Ari, so I'm 2-2. Not the greatest record, and if I lose one more time, I think I'm probably going to drop and do some side events instead. I kept screwing up. I forgot about the Ari trigger like twice, and it just like I lost the game off of those little tiny mistakes. Overall, just not a great performance. Not very happy about that last round, but we'll see if I can do better. And if I lose again, then I guess I'll just try and find some other side event to do. All right, well, I'll check back in a bit. I just finished my fifth round against Vex, and I lost, so sad. And I was too late to sign up for the sealed at 5 p.m. as well, so double sad. I guess now the plan is try and do a bunch of on-demand constructed, get a few tickets, and see if I can hopefully get 4 out of 6 wins for the regional rebound, which would give me 30 tickets, and maybe I could get a medal card. But I think I'm going to drop out of the main event now because I don't think I can get anything out of it. So not the greatest performance, but I guess it's all right. Anyways, I will update later.
So it is Sunday morning. I forgot to do some updates after the 5th round. Initially, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do some side events and whatever and blah, blah, blah. But by the time I got back into the venue, they announced the 6th round pairings. So I decided to try and play the 6th round out anyways because it was already announced and I didn't have to wait. So I played against a Lux and I managed to win 2-1. She was very nice. She actually even gave me a custom token. It's by QTFu, and yeah, she was really nice and gave me that token. After the 6th round, I kind of just wandered a bit. It was a long round, so there wasn't a lot of time to wait because we did end up going into time. So the 7th round was pretty much just like 10-15 minutes later, and I ended up going to that round as well anyways. I played against a Jhin and I won 2-0. I won fast enough that I was able to do an on-demand event. So I ended up going to that immediately after and not dropping, like without dropping. I was expecting to lose the 8th round because I didn't show up, but when I checked later, I actually won it somehow. So I guess my opponents didn't show up, or I don't know what happened. So my final record is 5-3, which not the greatest, but it's okay, I think, for my first time. Anyways, so the plan for today is just to go play the regional rebound and hope to win some prize tickets. I'm not really expecting much because the meta is probably going to be way sweatier because there's no best of prizing, so it's just play the best thing that you can. So hopefully I'll be able to do all right still, but I'm expecting a lot of LeBlanc, Master Yi, and yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. We'll see. Let's talk about expenses. The only expense I had yesterday was pretty much just the on-demand side event because I didn't find a time to eat, so I just didn't. The only other money I spent yesterday was my friend gave me his Compass Pass, which is basically like a bus pass, and he told me to use it, which once again, super nice. It's a secret, but I put $20 on the balance so that I don't use his balance and I give him a little bit of extra at the end of it. So yeah, my total expenses were just like $36 or something like that, which is super cheap. And I don't think anyone coming to a regional or something like that should expect to only spend $36 in a day. Anyways, I'm just gonna get ready for today and hopefully things go well. We'll see. I'm here at the venue and I had a little bit of a change of heart. I ended up dropping out of the regional rebound and instead I'm gonna do the 2 p.m. sealed. I think I'm gonna do some on-demand events and try and just sell my tickets if possible and make some money back. If I can't, well, I could just grab some stuff off the prize wall or something like that. My reason for doing this is I don't really want to sweat my ass off playing the regional rebound, and then if I get 3 losses, I literally get nothing for like 8 hours of playing. If I do the sealed, at least I get to open some packs and I get some prize tickets regardless, and maybe I could do something with that instead. The thought of playing all day and having nothing to show for it was a little bit too depressing, and I want to be able to go back and show my friend, you know, like, hey, check this out, this is what I got. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna just try for more casual side events instead. So I'll update in a bit. So I managed to finish one on-demand constructed event. I went 2-1, so I got 2 tickets. And I went to go get some food because I had some time. I have about 30 minutes before the sealed event starts, so I need to eat quick and get to doing that. It's the end of the regional. I ended up just playing the sealed event. I went 3-0, so I got 8 prize ball tickets. At the end of the day, I just ended up selling all of my prize ball tickets, so I managed to make $300 CAD and 35 USD. So overall, I actually made a bit of money from the event itself, and it'll help pay a little bit for the plane tickets. So today was pretty productive, I would say. I don't regret dropping out of the rebound because I don't think I would have gotten any tickets, but yeah, so pretty good. Anyways, I will maybe check back in later. On my way back to my friend's place, for this final day, I spent $16.80 on an on-demand event and $12.80 for a Philly cheesesteak. The sealed is normally $70, but I was able to use the voucher that came with my competitor badge to get that reduced to $35. So my total for Sunday is $64.75. So you were asking me yesterday about like why specifically I decided to come to Vancouver for this tournament and stuff like that. To be honest, in January, on a whim, I kind of just decided I wanted to start a YouTube channel. So since January, I started a YouTube channel, and initially my whole goal behind it was to like document my process of learning to play the game and then blah, 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 to the point where my final goal was to attend a regional qualifier, basically. And so when this came up, it was like, I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not, but then Clara was like, she encouraged me like, yeah, you should do it. It's something that you wanted to do. It was part of your goal, so you should just do it, even if it's, you know, kind of expensive and I'm not really like expecting to make money off of it and that kind of stuff, right? So that was the whole intention. When I made my YouTube channel, initially it was like that whole, I'm going to like document my progress and all this stuff and blah, blah. And then I started making some other videos about like, just like tips, or not like tips, but like guides on how you want to play this champion or blah, 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 stuff like that. And then it became more of like a learning kind of like educational channel, in the sense that like, or like just helping with like budget builds and stuff like that, right? But my initial goal for the channel was more of like a vlogging style, to show like my progress and everything. So I kind of abandoned that at some point. And then this is me basically trying to bring that up again because I committed to going to Vancouver. And so even though like it is expensive and I'm not exactly like rich or anything, you know, so it is like financially kind of tough, but I still wanted to do it because it was part of my initial goal with my YouTube channel that I started this year. It's Monday morning and I'm still in Vancouver because I decided to stay one extra day so I could hang out with my friend. My flight is at 11:30 p.m. tonight, so I pretty much just have the whole day. My friend is working for them in the morning, so I'm just killing time until he's done, and then we'll see what he has in store. The Riftbound section of this vlog is over, so the rest of it is just me chilling and hanging out in Vancouver. So my friend has been really generous for this entire trip. He's made me breakfast like every single day. He's bought me dinner like multiple times. Seriously, I barely spent any money, and it's all thanks to my friend Ehsan. So I asked if I could buy dinner tonight, but I'm kind of skeptical that he's gonna let me pay for it. So I thought I would try and figure out some other way that I can repay him. And he has a balcony that is a little bit dirty and, well, like not dirty, but has been upkept. So I think I'm gonna try and give it a bit of a small cleaning while he's at work. And yeah, just as a little bit of a thank you. So this is what the balcony looks like. You know, it just needs a good sweeping. Yeah. All right, let's get to work. So this is after I'm finished cleaning. It was just a quick cleanup. That's the pile of vegetation and stuff that I ripped out. Overall, I tried wiping down all the furniture, but it's kind of hard to wipe down wicker. I pulled out all of the vegetation, and yeah, like an hour job. Not too bad. After my friend got back, we drove to Deep Cove to go for a hike. Vancouver is a city with so much natural beauty. The air just smells fresh, you can see the mountains in the background, and the trees are all massive. After our hike, we did a quick workout, got some dinner,
and then my friend drove me to the airport for my overnight flight. I'm finally back home, and I gotta say, it was a pretty good trip overall. I got to hang out with my friend, I got to experience the regional, and overall it was pretty fun. Initially, my plan was I'm gonna see how much money I can save by, being cost conscious and stuff like that. But in the end, my friend, he basically just paid for everything. Like he bought me dinner so many times. So my whole plan of breaking down the cost of everything and trying to see how much, give comparisons for other people to see how much it would cost and stuff like that. It's not that accurate because my friend just really, really helped out. So it's hard to give a good number for like how much it would cost roughly. I still hope that maybe this can help. So overall, with everything, like the plane ticket, the cost of the competitor badge, cost of all the events, the food, the transportation, all of that stuff combined, it cost me $817.71. But I did manage to sell all of my event tickets at the regional. So I was actually able to make back $300 Canadian and 35 USD, which is roughly 50 Canadian. Overall, if you subtract $350 from the total, this trip cost me $467.71. That's not too bad. It's basically like I just paid for the plane ticket overall. I made back everything else with the prize tickets. On that note, things that I wish I did differently. First off, I'm not sure if I'll go with Flair ever again. I did manage to avoid getting charged extra for a carry-on or anything like that. I packed my personal item, my backpack, very lightly compared to how I might pack it. I wore multiple layers of clothing on the plane just so that my bag wouldn't be too packed still. And the whole thing was, I think, unnecessarily stressful. So next time, even if it saves me money, I really don't know if I'm gonna go with Flair again. Other things, for the event itself, while I was part of the main event, was just all right. I feel like if I went to another regional, I wouldn't commit to playing in the main event unless I really felt like I was prepared with a deck or something like that. I think I would have had a better experience if I just went for a spectator badge and did side events and signed up for more of the side events rather than going for the main event. Because the main event, it's cool, but it's very top heavy in terms of pricing. So like most people who are entering that event will spend at least, 5 or 6 hours playing games, and then they won't make day two. They won't get the best of pricing, so they basically get nothing for their entire half-day commitment. Since I went into it not feeling very prepared, I probably would have been better off just doing side events and stuff like that. Overall, I don't think I did too terribly. I was the 6th placing Yasuo out of 30. It's not really that impressive, but it wasn't terrible. Overall, I placed, I think, 497th out of 18, almost 1,900 people. So overall, it was all right. Am I planning on going to any other regional qualifiers? No. The only one, I guess, that I could potentially go to at this point is LA. And I feel like LA would be very expensive. And yeah, just overall, I think it would be quite cost prohibitive. So I'm probably not going to go to another regional qualifier anytime soon. Hopefully in 2027 or something, maybe they do one in Toronto or something like that, somewhere nearby. That would be really nice. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little vlog. I know it's not super well produced, but that's just giving it a shot. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It would be nice to do some more of this content in the future, but we'll see how it goes. And with that, well, thanks for watching.